What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Overdose. I'm your host, Jaye. Today I'm joined with a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Alex Matthews.
All right, Alex. Today's video we are doing is the main problem with women in 2021. But before that, where can they find you?
Where can they find me?
Yes.
You can find me on Instagram at CB Social Management. It's my business Instagram, but it's also a little bit personal. We have some fun on there.
Okay, got you. Now, if you want to follow her, the links will be in the description below. If you want to finish this video, that will be in the description below as well. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, or you have a high chance of having a small dick. So what are the main problems with women in 2021 from your perspective?
In my perspective?
Yes, from your perspective.
Oof, okay.
Before we even jump into the video, what is your... Yeah.
You're coming in really hot.
I'm coming in super hot. Hot fire.
Okay. Objectively, as a woman, some of the issues that I see are, we're kind of backing ourselves into a corner a little bit.
Okay,
again.
Explain that more.
I think we're becoming more comfortable with asking for what we want and going after it, but I still think that there is a disconnect there, whether it's in business asking for a raise, or in relationships even asking for like the bare minimum of what we need from a partner, from ourselves even asking for what we need from ourselves. I still think that there's a little bit of fear there. I think we kind of resign some of that power and some of that control a little bit still. Okay,
we're about to definitely have a debate right about now.
We're already starting.
Before we get to the video, I hear some key things that I don't like. Okay. When a woman is a quote-unquote boss babe, right? And they're out in the world and they're being very adventurous, disagreeable, taking risk. These are qualities more associated with masculine traits and masculine men. Do you believe that a woman that goes through certain things like that, of being more direct, being more what if all the things that you explained will be a hindrance in a relationship?
I would say that it would not be a hindrance in the right relationship.
I like that. Now, why do you say that?
Well, because I am married, actually. So in my relationship, the power dynamic is very simply 50-50. I know, shocking. Shocking. It is 50-50, but I will explain that in the sense that it's 50-50 and that we both know that we have strengths and we both know that we have weaknesses. And in that, we meet each other where our strengths and weaknesses are.
Could you have any examples?
A good example would be I'm a planner and my husband is not in the slightest. He likes to just go with the flow, figure out what's going to happen. I love to plan everything to the last detail. So in that, there are two things that are important. Being able to go with the flow is a very important personality trait that I do not possess, but he does. So he's someone who can kind of bring me down back to reality and calm me down when things don't go well. But I also am someone who can plan our life, plan our trips, plan to see friends. So it's not equal in the sense that we both are amazing at these things. But to me, it's 50-50 in that I meet the needs that he has and he meets the needs that I have.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me just throw a scenario out there. He says, hey, I have a job in Alabama. We are moving to Alabama. Your thoughts would be?
Why are you telling me that we're moving to Alabama instead of like asking or discussing the situation? How did we even get to you accepting a job offer in Alabama before we had a discussion? That's where I would start.
Got you.
If we had already had the discussion and we decided this is the best opportunity for him, for us, we're moving to Alabama, I guess.
Okay, so question. So he has to, I wouldn't say, I guess have to, yes. He has to discuss with you before he makes, I'm guessing, important life-changing situations.
That would be very much like a partnership in a marriage, yes.
Okay. So
if it's going to impact me, not just him, which at this point now most decisions do impact the both of us, then yeah, it's a discussion.
Let me make this a little bit more specific then.
Okay.
I don't know how much money he makes now, but let's say this job is literally $100,000, $150,000, and he knows in his head this could take care of me and her, and I have one opportunity to get this job.
Okay.
You would still expect him to try to talk to you, or just get the job?
I would expect him to talk to me, but also because that is the kind of person that he is. Okay. He would want to discuss that with me. Also, I know it's just a hypothetical, but he would have no desire to move to Alabama.
Got you. I just do a random. Yeah. I just do a random state out there. Yeah.
That may actually.
They probably don't even make that much money out there. I don't know. I don't want to diss Alabama that's watching this video.
Yeah, no offense. Yeah. But he's from the north, and moving to Georgia was even kind of a little
New
bit
York.
Yeah.
It's a job in New York, and it's or New Jersey, wherever, and it's $150,000, and he literally has one opportunity to get it. You would still expect him to come to you and talk about it and discuss it.
Yeah, because that is something that I would need as a wife, as a partner, to have that discussion. But also, again, that's just kind of who he is.
Okay, and the second question to follow up on that: if he does it and didn't discuss it, what happens then?
That would be a very disagreeable conversation that we would have.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go down that road for a second. just for a second, because I want to. Because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Yeah. To me personally, it doesn't make sense. If, for instance, again, I don't know your financial situation.
Okay.
But I'm guessing $150,000, $200,000 is a significant more amount of money than what you guys are looking at right now. Again, so if it's not, then put a even higher number. Let's say he is already making $100,000, so put an even higher number, so the hypothetical can make more sense.
Okay.
So in my mind, if I'm with a woman and married to a woman, and I'm like, oh, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to make this amount of money, and then we could just work here 3 years and literally be forever taken care of, I'm not going to even think about talking to you before I'm thinking about trying to seal that deal in. So I would like for you to go down that road of he didn't discuss it with you, and he's just like, I'm just going to be a leader, I'm just going to take this job, and that's what we're going to fucking do. What would be your thoughts, or what would you be saying?
For me personally,
yes, 100%.
Because
yes.
I mean, like I said, the type of marriage that we have is 50-50. It's a partnership.
Gotcha.
So I also have my own life. I have my own business. I have my own friends. That would not work for our dynamic. There are some marriage dynamics where the man is the leader. He is always the one who's referred to, and the wife is kind of just following along with what he decides to do.
Yes.
In that case scenario, it probably wouldn't be an issue. I mean,
okay, let's get back to your case though.
But my case, it would be a very, very big issue.
Okay, now issue as in you won't actually go because he didn't discuss, or
possibly. I don't know. I can't say for sure how that conversation would shake out in the end, but I know that it would not be my first step to go, and it certainly would not be my first step to be any form of agreeable in the conversation that we had. Okay. It would be, to me in our relationship, it would be extremely disrespectful to me, to my life, to my friends, and even to our relationship. That would be very disrespectful.
Okay.
You're making a life decision that impacts the both of us, and that's not how we can operate anymore. Not now that we are married.
Okay, gotcha. All right, now let's jump into the video. I know you're super off topic.
We're not even there.
We're not even at the video yet.
We're not even there.
This is about to be a good video.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the video.
Okay.
So right here, this is what we're gonna talk about. Who noticed that men are not?
Hold on. So who noticed that men are no longer persuasive?
Once they ask you out, and you say no, case closed. I'm about to dive into this video topic, man.
Okay, before he even gets us, I know we stopping the video before we even get into it. But before we even get into it, what are your thoughts about this already? Being persistent, persuasive, and keep trying, even if she's like, oh no, I'm not really feeling it, and you keep trying at it of even talking to her, or it's in person, you're having sex, etc. What are your thoughts, first perspective as a woman?
My personal perspective again is that no means no.
Okay.
So if she says no after the first time you ask her out, that definitely means no. does that mean she may change her own mind and maybe come back and ask you out at some point? I don't know. Maybe she does actually have some things going on where she's not ready for a relationship.
It's gonna be a long video.
Oh yeah,
but go ahead.
But to me, no means no, even if it's being asked out on a date.
Okay, for you guys, disregard what she just said.
Oh, okay.
No means no at that moment. So no doesn't mean no indefinitely. No means no at that moment in time. I mean, I wouldn't be thirsty to ask her literally a day later, even a week later. It might be a month, 3 months later, but even ask in a different way. So again, a lot of times what
Okay.
maybe you're just not in the dating marketplace, you know what I mean? I see these videos all the time, and I talk to multiple women, and they all say the same thing. I like a guy to chase. I like a guy to pursue. So, and I normally don't just say yes right off the back. It's more like oh, we'll see. Oh, I don't know.
See, but that's not a no.
Even no, it depends on the context of her tone. It depends on how she says no. No, so I'm thinking of no as in just no, I don't want to date you. I don't want nothing to do with you, blah. Then yes, I would 100% agree. But no, most of the time, women don't do that. They're not that direct.
That kind of goes back to the very first part of the video.
Yes.
You asking what's wrong with women in 2021.
Yes.
And yes, it is something that we are conditioned and raised up to be, which is to take care of other people's feelings. So we think that we're not hurting your feelings by saying, I'm just not in a place right now where I'm ready for a relationship, or you're a really great guy, but I just don't want to ruin our friendship right now.
Let them down easy.
So we think that is helping you and saving your feelings, and it's not. It's not helping anyone.
Nope.
So for me, I did get very clear in saying no, not no
Got
right
you.
now.
So
not
just
no.
no.
Nope.
Got you. Okay.
Thank you, but no.
Okay.
I appreciate the effort, but no.
I appreciate the effort, but no.
Yeah.
Makes sense perfectly. So yes, I would agree on certain things that women definitely do need to be more direct on, when that being one of them. Because if you don't say no like you explained, then you give the guy a false sense of hope, if that makes more sense.
I agree. I will say, though, let me clarify.
Okay,
I don't think that this should be something that's solely on women. I think that we both, I think that men and women need to kind of come and start to meet in the middle on this. I do think that women need to be able to be more direct. They need to be encouraged to be more direct.
Okay.
But I also think that men need to actually take those hesitant no's and actually respect them as no's.
Okay, but what is that? Give me the dynamic of what that means. Because I'm gonna let you know right now, I've had girls told me no at first, and then I don't know, a month later, years later, it would turn into a yes. So,
but were you consistently asking them in those months?
In some situations, yes, and in some situations, no.
Okay.
So I've seen it all. I've seen someone who persistently.
So you just wore her down, and then she finally gave up.
Again, I'm speaking from my perspective as well as a lot of girls' perspectives. Kind of gave up. She's like, all right, bro, you've been consistent. You can just have it. Fuck. No.
Hey, let me say, unfortunately, in sexual instances, that is something that happens more often than not.
Seriously?
Yeah, pity sex is a thing. It is a thing, but it's not a good thing. Let's be very clear.
I wouldn't want a girl to be pity sex, because then the sex is just bad. But anyway, let's get back to topic. We get off topic. Okay, so for you personally, you already explained. So no means no, and it seems like no means no indefinitely. So let me ask you straight up: have you had a situation happen where you said no at first, but then later down the line, no matter if he was consistent or not consistent, that no turned into a yes?
In a dating relationship specifically?
Yes.
Not that I can recall. Not that I can recall.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've always stuck to my nose. And if I left room open for the possibility, then I left the room open, specifically.
Okay.
So I was very direct about, I did have someone who was a guy friend for a long time.
Guy friend. Okay.
Who, when I finally did in things with a long-term relationship, wanted to date. And at that point in time, I was fresh out of a serious relationship and I was not ready for any kind of seriousness, which I did articulate and I did say very clearly. But I did leave the room open because this was someone that I saw a possibility with.
Okay.
And so I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this right now, but let's hang out, let's date, let's get to know each other. Yes.
A lot of women, again, I want to be very clear though. There's
a good portion
I'm about
of
to
us
say
who
that's
are
a
not.
minority. The majority always leave the door open, even if they're not necessarily attracted to the guy, because a lot of times women just like attention. So they have you around and they have you orbit around you because they like attention. A lot of times, I've asked literally
That's fair.
a lot of girls that come on the show, I've asked them specifically, have you ever went on a date with a guy you know in your head you're not attracted to? Majority say yes.
Yes, I agree. That's definitely something that happens. But I think that attraction is multifaceted. So, and especially for me as someone who is much more attracted to a person for like who they are and much less for what they look like. That is kind of how something has happened, where I may not have found someone physically attractive or objectively they're not necessarily physically attractive, but they were attractive to me because of who they were.
Gotcha.
So, but I also don't like to waste time. So I'm not someone who's going to sit on a date for 2 hours with someone that I don't like.
Of course. Gotcha.
So,
All right,
again, very direct.
Let's get into this video. I might even make 2 parts of this.
I know. We're just going.
All right, let's get it.
They want you to prove yourself even more after, even when they said no. Basically, they want you to play for the basketball team that don't even want you to play, G.
Wait, what?
Does that make sense?
UT, what do you do? It's your boy Steph.
Oh, God.
It's an intro.
They want you to constantly prove yourself. When they literally do nothing. They literally just exist. And they believe that since them existing is enough for the man to do everything. Granted, you have to approach. You have to do the first approach, right? You have to. As a man, you have to do the first approach. Right? You have to do the first approach. She dictates everything after that. It's up to her to decide after that. Right? So, this is what I mean by it. You ask a girl out to hang out, to go, whatever it is, wherever it is where you want the girl to go with you, right? Y'all go out for drinks, y'all go to hang out at your place, whatever. If she says no, there is, listen fellas, there is literally nothing else to talk about. That's a water break right there. That's a water break. That's a water break. There's literally nothing else to talk about. Oh, we can get to know each other on here. I'd rather get to know you in person. If she don't want to get to know you in person, she don't want to get to know you. You ever talk to a woman and then you ask her, where is she from? Just basic questions. Because y'all having conversation. Through text. And she says, New York. Listen, fellas. New York. California. Detroit. Right? New Jersey. Las Vegas. But she never asks, what about you? If she don't hit you with the what about you, she don't like you. I would have stopped replying right then and there.
That's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Okay, what's your thoughts so far in the video?
Oh gosh.
He said a lot at the beginning.
The only
He said
thing
the
that I
bringing-
agree with is the very end. If
Okay.
a woman is not reciprocating in the conversation, she most likely does not like you. And I think
Yes.
that goes both ways. That's not just a woman thing. So I agree with that part.
Okay.
But the all we have to do is exist part. I think that's a little interesting. Honestly, my question for this person right now is, who hurt this man?
Oh God,
Who hurt this man?
This
I am just like, he's feeling some things right now. I mean, he's got the music, he's got the gravitas, like he's feeling this. So the women have nothing to do but exist. I think that is definitely a cop-out.
Explain.
Well, so let me put it this way, which I know I can already hear the conversation coming. I can already hear the opinions coming, but
Theories.
Yeah, the theories coming. So this man, he says all women have to do is exist. So my question would be like, what is it that he believes is just existing? Because I can say from like a woman's perspective and a woman of color's perspective, me just existing, so me hanging out in a bar, drinking my drink, not really like pursuing anyone, sure, dancing with anyone, whatever. I am not just existing. I am trying to survive, actually. Okay. It's not just about like, I may look like I'm calm and cool and sipping my drink, whatever, but I am on high alert of who's around me, who's next to me, where my drink has been, who my friends are with. I'm actually like very aware. I'm not just sitting there enjoying the night. I'm actually like on high alert of who's around me.
Okay.
So, I'm not just like mindlessly anywhere at any point, actually. I can't be. I have to be aware of my surroundings. I have to be aware of who is around me.
Okay, let's pause for 1 second.
Yeah.
You're taking the conversation a different direction than what he's actually. Maybe he didn't communicate correctly.
No, I know what he was communicating, which is just that we just have to stand there and look pretty and wait for someone to come over and offer us a drink or offer.
Not even that. No. Not even that. It's just as soon as you turn 18, you get your value. Or if it's a country where 16 is the age of consent, then as soon as you turn 16, you get your value. Or a woman, is born with value. Men have to create their value. So, as a woman, if you were a pretty woman and you was born pretty, you didn't have to quote unquote work to be pretty. You was just born like that. Now, yes, can you work out and be in shape and etc.? Or if you eat more, will you lose value? Yes, but if you was just the natural progression of things and you stayed on course and you didn't overeat and overdo stupid stuff with your body, etc., you maintain that value because men look for beauty, fitness, etc. in the dating marketplace. So
I think that what you're saying is very interesting and very telling. I think that that's a society thing. I don't think that that's true. I do believe that society in and of itself puts value on women for their aesthetics and for their beauty, not as much for anything else that we actually do bring to the table. And for men, I do agree that a lot of times society puts on, your value on like how you look, what you can provide, how much money you make, all of these different things, like what life you can provide for your partner.
Yes.
But that's not the truth. Everyone has intrinsic value just for being a human being. Okay. And sociology-wise, like that is what we have accepted. I believe that the more people start rejecting that narrative of that's all that we're worth, then we will actually like be able to be with people who know that they have intrinsic value.
Gotcha.
So my initial like disagreement with the video in particular is that he is reaffirming this narrative of this like very banal basic value system that's not actually true. Like that's not actually what our value is. And so if you ascribe to that value system, then of course you're only going to see women as beautiful things that don't offer anything. But we do offer more than that. We offer empathy, we offer comfort, we offer homemaking, we offer like being amazing like in business. We offer all kinds of different things. So it's not just about how pretty we are. And I think that men offer so much more than the apartment that you have or the car that you drive or what your salary is. You offer comfort, you offer empathy, you offer protection, you offer, you know, these basic human things.
Okay. Now let me pause you again for a second. Wrong. I mean, this is just, what you just said is just completely wrong. I'm just keep it a buck. I'm just be
What is wrong? What is wrong?
Because it's based off of just data numbers. If you go to Instagram and a more prettier woman and everything else being equal, she will have more suitors or options of guys trying to chase her. Now let's say the opposite for guys. If you are a guy who stays at home with his mom in the basement somewhere, he don't have a nice car or etc., he doesn't have money, he doesn't have a lifestyle, etc., he's going to have far less options in the dating marketplace. So for you to say that that's not true is inaccurate, because that is inherently true. If I have more money, if I am 6 feet tall, if I have more status, these are certain things that just then explain.
You're missing like what I said, which is like, it's not that it's not true in society's terms.
Gotcha.
Yes, I agree that we have been socialized and we have been raised in this society and in many societies, let's be honest, that your beauty as a woman is what gives you value.
Yes.
Your money as a man is what gives you value.
Yes.
But that is a narrative that was put on us.
Okay.
That's not the actual, like, capital T truth of humans and what we provide as humans or as men or as women.
Okay. Oh, so okay. Here's this. I see the line now.
Yes.
Again, wholeheartedly disagree. I think this is the base value. Let me put it to more like this. It's the base value. So and again, I'm talking about in a sexual marketplace. I'm not talking about human to human. Obviously, we respect humans. I personally respect all life, but as a human, you respect them as a human, etc. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about sexual market value. So meaning a guy. Yeah, sexual market value.
I know.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say,
I know. It's just putting it in that way is so sad. But yes, I know.
I'm just being very direct and okay. So if I have these stats as a guy, all we're doing is quantizing things. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
So if I have these stats as a guy versus this other guy, you as a woman will definitely look at these stats versus these stats. So to say that it's a societal thing is not accurate. It's a human animalistic thing.
I think it's a society thing though, and because there are exceptions. I mean, for me, like,
of course. Yeah,
I am not looking at your stats as like what on the outside you can provide for me. I am looking on the inside, like what kind of emotional support can you provide for me? How do you argue?
Oh, and pause. That's what I meant by bare minimum. Like, I'm guessing you wouldn't date a guy who was 5'1".
Well, I have dated men who are 5'4".
Okay, let me change that. I guess you wouldn't marry a guy for the rest of your life who was 5'1", and you would be with him for the rest of your life. Not even majority. I don't think there's any woman that dated a guy that's 5'1" and she's like 5'6" or whatever. You might find, again, exceptions to the rule, but on a generally speaking, 99%. Is not going to happen. So
okay.
I
guess I wouldn't put it at 99. I think you can say that it's a generalization.
Okay.
It's a generalization.
What percentage? Give me a percentage.
Okay, I'll give you over 50%.
Over 50?
Like maybe 70%, but also I don't know every woman in the world. I don't know what their preferences are. I know for my own preferences, I never had like an aesthetic preference. I've never had a type.
Okay.
I've never had a height preference. Like, the reason why I didn't end up staying with the guy who was 5'4" is because he's an asshole, not because he's 5'4".
Gotcha.
So
understandable.
I mean, the person that I did think I was going to marry was 5'7", and I am 5'4", so he was only 3 inches taller than me.
Okay.
My current husband is 5'10".
Okay.
He's not over 6 foot.
Well, 6 foot is that's just.
I know. That's like the thing, like 6'1" or above, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, my husband's 5'10". Like I have dated someone who was 6'7". That was a lot. That was too much. Like,
gotcha.
No, thank you again.
Okay.
But
to summarize things, that is just the bare minimum. Now, on top of that value, Then you add the stuff like security. Then you add the stuff like stability.
My point is, I reverse it.
Okay,
That's the cherry on top.
Gotcha.
The aesthetics are the cherry on top.
Okay.
The actual bare minimum is that you can treat me as an equal and a human being, and that you have some form of emotional intelligence.
Gotcha.
That's the bare minimum.
Okay.
Then you have security, but more so in what's your work ethic? What
Gotcha.
are you willing to do to help us both provide for our household and our family?
Okay.
What choices are you willing to make? It's also, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to help out around the house? Are you helping with the household? Is this
Gotcha.
all on me? I mean, we both work, so, what are you doing in terms of that? It's how you treat the people around you.
Yeah.
That's the bigger. And then
Okay.
the cherry on top is, oh, great, you're conventionally attractive. Oh, great, you have some form of height, so maybe our kids aren't going to be like super short.
Oh, hold on, pause. I don't like how you sarcasm that part, because it's not just about the kids. It ties into security as well. Because again, a lot of times a woman likes to feel like her man is the security figure.
Yeah.
So that's why women look to guys that are most of the time, 99% of the time, bigger than them, stronger than
it's
them.
a psychological
etc.
thing
Yes.
where you can feel like, oh, you can cover me physically.
Yes.
So yeah, I absolutely agree that is something that can play a part.
Okay.
But
Finding some common ground right now.
we have common ground.
Yeah,
There's
true.
just, we started on common ground and then we branched off to things
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we have different
I'm
theories.
just making jokes right there. Yeah.
But so yeah, that to me is how things work.
Okay.
But that's for me personally,
Gotcha.
as we have made very clear. I am not his target audience of women, I guess, but
Gotcha.
that is how that works for me. So the whole aesthetics thing and what you have to offer in terms of what society says men have to offer is not what I see.
Gotcha.
Because-
You look at so you basically, to put it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
At the beginning, you look for those qualities, like you said, the emotional intelligence.
Who
all
are
that.
you as a
and
person?
then
Yeah.
that's the cherry on top.
Because yeah, I mean, let's face it, we all know what the divorce rate is in this country.
50%.
And we all know what we've been basing our decisions off of for our partners.
Yes.
And I'm about longevity. I'm about sustainability.
Okay.
And quite frankly, if we have differences, like big differences of emotional intelligence and how we see running a household, that's not sustainable. No matter how tall you are or how much money you make,
That's true.
that's not sustainable.
That's facts.
And I don't want to be the 50% that gets divorced.
Facts.
So, that's just not, that's not what I see. So I think that more and more people hopefully are understanding.
Hold on. Pause real quick, because God, we have so many tangents.
I know.
You said so many. You said something specific just now. You said, I don't want to be the percentage that gets divorced, but in those divorces, 70 to 80% of those are initiated by women. So if you just don't want to be divorced, you can automatically become the 20% that, you see what I mean? So that's why I just didn't like that wording, because
I think
statistically,
that's very interesting though. I've never heard that statistic, so I'm very interested in understanding why women are the ones who are initiating.
I don't know.
I would like to know that. I think that would be a really interesting question to pose, because is it just because they realize that you're not 6 foot and they don't want to be with you because of that? Or is it because they realize,
it's not that shallow.
or is it because they realize that there isn't sustainability because they did marry you because you were 6'1", and now
that's
they're
a great
realizing,
conversation.
I can't raise kids with you.
Got you.
So
Okay.
that's a good question to pose, I
Yeah,
think.
so let's continue on.
She's not interested in you. And you don't need to force the issue when a chick don't want you.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay.
You should have forced the issue for 2 reasons. And we say this in every video.
Oh, God. Okay.
Attention. Validation. That's it. That's it. That is it. She wants you to persuade her on why she should say yes.
What?
Hold on, I did not expect that at all. That was funny. That got me out of frame. That got me out of frame real quick.
I want to stop here because he's making so many good points, and I
Okay.
forget what I want to say very quickly.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
But
I don't want to stop it too many times,
No,
but
no,
yeah.
no. I think this is a good point about the attention and validation thing.
Okay.
Because I do think that there are definitely groups of women who like to keep men on the hook for that attention, for that validation.
Of women, but go ahead, yes.
They're groups.
Okay.
This is not the majority, okay? And I think that actually, this is a whole other tangent, but I think that actually comes from a more of an insecurity place for those women in particular. Because like for me, I mean, again, I'm very direct, very confident. I know, like, all I have to do is go out, and I will have plenty of eyes, plenty of attention. So I don't need to be DMing someone or texting someone that I have no interest in to keep that attention. The attention is there. I'm very clear on that. So I think that it kind of parlays a little bit more into an insecurity thing. So I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Okay.
But I am saying for men, if you don't want that to happen to you, then isn't it on you to have a little bit of self-respect to cut the conversation?
True.
Once you realize that you are kind of being dangled on the hook for no reason?
True. I agree 100%. Now I agree 100%.
So, I mean, I think it's a self-respect thing, and I think it's a respect of the other person at the same time in these conversations.
And I would also add that this is why you get more status, more money, so you can have more options in the dating marketplace, so you don't get too focused on one chick.
Add some emotional intelligence into that, and you'll have all the options.
Where's Cap?
You'll have all the options.
Girls is not of today is not getting with guys because of their emotional intelligence. They're getting with guys because they are
hot. Exactly why. That is absolutely the trend that we are taking.
I wish I had my buttons right now.
You're like,
buttons.
Cap.
Your cap buttons, all the buttons. But no, don't listen to that. Again, get your status up, get your money up, go to the gym. Yes, I do agree that you should be emotionally intelligent, but that's here, and you need the aesthetics to even get. Basically, you need the attention, right? You need the shiny door, but when they walk in the door, it's like a beautiful house.
Yeah, let me pose the question though. Yeah, like you said, it's a beautiful house. Do you want them seeing like this like nice Mercedes in the driveway and like a little pretty facade, and then they walk in and it's a rundown nothing house? Because again, that's sustainability.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go through an expensive divorce? Are you actually going to be smart enough to have a prenup?
Now we're talking. Let's talk about it. No. You said something very interesting. It's alluding to the fact that we are looking for quality when we don't care about quality that much. Especially at a younger age, we care more about quantity. You are alluding to the fact that...
Men or women?
Men. We care about quantity.
Okay.
Numbers. Okay. As many women as we can get as possible. Women, on the other hand...
encouraged to want.
Women, on the other hand, are looking for quality. They're looking for the pretty on the outside and pretty on the inside. So to get more quantity, the outside just has to be good. The inside not necessarily have to be good, because once you get on inside, the conversion rate could be like 5%.
Yeah.
Guess what? Out of 100, that's 5.
If you don't care about longevity, then absolutely, the outside is the only thing that's going to matter. My point is, for the men, if women are initiating these divorces 70-80% of the time, mostly because they find out that you're not shit once they marry you, do you want to go through the expensive divorce, or would you rather also spend as much time working on yourself mentally and emotionally as you do physically at the gym? Okay. That's my question.
I 100% agree, again, to work on yourself mentally, but I want to put a caveat. You're talking about marriage when today's rates, if we were to look at the numbers, men are not getting married as much as they were in the past. They're looking at marriage, and again, I don't even want to go in this conversation because I want to put this on live, and that, remember the video I told you before, I want to put that on live, so I don't even want to go in this conversation. But to put it overall, men are not looking for marriage. They're pushing that on to 35, 40, never.
Women are also pushing it out.
I agree. So, but definitely men, because we don't gain anything, biologically speaking or practically speaking, unless you have a woman who's living in a different country and you want to get her here, or different things like that make practical sense. Okay. But again, we can talk about it when we go to the live.
Okay.
All right, let's continue.
Let's get through it. You have 6 minutes of this video. You can do it.
Just like the games like Oblivion and Skyrim and Fallout 3. In other words, when you're talking to an NPC, you have the ability to persuade the NPC in order to get a certain equipment or certain item for a lower price. The difference between that is you're guaranteed it by what you have to offer. You're guaranteed the item in the game by what you have to offer to the NPC. You're not guaranteed nothing by what you have to offer to the woman because she doesn't care what you have to offer because she don't like you. You don't matter to her. Your attention and your body. And her head is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. She not only doing that to you, she doing that to him, and him. But the dude that she like, she'll make it easy for him. Let me say that one more time. The women that like you will not make it hard for you. The only thing she would make hard is the digging stick going inside her sweet watery guts. The moment you have to prove yourself, persuade yourself to a female on why she should, why she should talk to you, she don't like you.
All right, I want to push back only a little bit on what he said.
Okay.
Yes, I do agree that if she doesn't like you, she will definitely show you. And yes, I agree that if she do like you, she will give you more indications that she does like you. But here's something interesting that also happens. If a girl sees you not as the guy that she can quickly fuck or the fuck boy or the bad boy, but as a potential marriage type, she's going to actually hold out and be just like she was if she kind of didn't like you. So from what I'm saying is basically she'll give you more indication that she likes you, but she'll still hold out of sex because she wants to be seen as classy, because she wants to be seen as pure, and etc. So that's the only part I would push back on. But everything else sounds very clear and sound to me.
I think the motivation in terms of she wants to be seen as classy, she wants to be seen as pure, I think that's a little bit of it's a normalized narrative of how women hold out or why women hold out on sex. Yeah. I think for some of us who are very self-aware, we realize that sex can very much so cloud your judgment, and it can really cloud your decision making.
Especially guys. Yeah,
and women too. So, because if it's good, then you're like, oh, those red flags, I think they're actually yellow.
True.
For either way. So, like some of us, and I think
hold on. I'm a really quick pause. I'm sorry to interrupt. But it's the before sex for guys, and it's the after sex for girls. I want to make that very clear.
How so?
Before sex, we don't see the red flags. We are the ones pursuing. We are the ones that's in a cloudy judgment area of fogginess.
Okay, so it's like that post-sex clarity.
And then after sex, then we're like, do I really like this girl?
Okay.
Then the girl is more like getting that cloudy. Oh, but he, starts to see the red flags start to disappear.
Well, I can only speak for women or for myself.
Gotcha.
And so, yes, I do think that sex can cloud things. So I don't necessarily agree with the portion of like we want to be seen as. Yeah, I do think that we still have this narrative and the stigma of like I can't have sex with you on the first date or you won't take me seriously, you won't respect me, which I would love to see like die. But I do think that it's better to focus it on being self-aware and understanding that for a good portion of us as human beings, sex can really change your perspective of the person that you're with. Okay. So yeah, I do agree that, it could maybe seem like I'm not interested if I actually am interested, but it shouldn't, because I'm going to be involved in the conversation. I'm going to be making conversation. Yeah. I'm going to be like pursuing conversation with you as much as you are with me.
Yes.
But I do want to see kind of like what your interest level is.
Yes.
So it's not exactly going to look the same. Like if a girl really does not like you, you should be able to tell.
Yes.
You really should.
100%.
So, and if you can't, that's a you problem. We should work on that.
That's a PP.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a problem.
That's a personal problem. Yeah.
You definitely, need to work on that. But girls who do see that potential, I guess, they will be involved though in the conversation.
Yes.
They will be excited to, see you and all of that.
100%.
But, we are still taught like you have to let a man pursue you or he's going to lose interest.
Okay.
Just as much as you guys are taught you have to pursue her or she's going to lose interest. So it's a whole cyclical
All right. It's men control women control the gatekeeping. Women gatekeep sex, men gatekeep relationships. So at the beginning, it's the man chasing the woman, and it's the man pursuing the woman, I should say, whatever. And the woman is the one holding out, etc., blah, blah, blah. And then after sex, it kind of switches to where the girl is kind of like the pursuer in a sense, and she's looking for a relationship if she want a relationship, and the guy is the one that's like holding out in a relationship, like, nah, I'm not yet, I'm good, I got things to work out, etc.
In my experience, I have normally been that one, so I've been the one holding out on the relationship.
And then two things, and then the other thing was, you said something interesting. You said that you want to see die. And I wholeheartedly agree and disagree. Now, if I was out in these streets just trying to fuck as many bitches as possible, I would 100% agree with you that a woman should just give out sex if the vibe is right, if she wants to be with the guy, etc., etc. But if I was to talk to daughters or something, I'm like, logically speaking, yes, you want to be very clear who you have sex with. Yes, you want to be very selective who you have sex with. So it's not a necessarily hold out. It's a more being selective of the person, the timing, etc.
My point was the thought process of you can only be respectable as a woman if you don't give out sex whenever you feel like it.
Gotcha.
So that's really what I want to see die. Like, I don't deserve respect if I'm willing to sleep with you on the first date.
Okay.
I think that you should still have all humans deserve respect. Like, all people deserve a level of respect.
Well, I don't agree, but go ahead.
Not necessarily respect as in overt respect like you would have for your parents or you would have for a
Oh no, I know what you meant.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking in my head like, killers or
okay, so yes, let me be very specific.
Yeah.
People who do not harm other living beings do deserve a level of respect.
Gotcha.
And I would like to see that narrative die, because I don't want us, like you said, I don't want us to focus on the respectability of it as much as let's start thinking about, let's respect ourselves in deciding who really should be in your space, who should be really taking up your time.
I agree. Yeah.
Not because it makes you a slut to have sex or anything.
Which it does, but go ahead.
No, it does not. but because
well, hold on. Let me be very clear. Let me be very specific too, because I don't want to just throw shit out there.
Yeah.
With multiple people on a consistent basis, yes, it does.
Okay. I do not believe that.
Yeah, of course.
So,
disclaimer here: her thoughts and opinions don't share with my thoughts and opinions, obviously.
But no, it's more so that you're respecting your time. Like, your time is valuable as a human being, regardless, and let's not waste it on people who don't deserve it.
Gotcha. Now, again, the part that I have to push back, and I have to be very clear, I disagree wholeheartedly with the sleeping with multiple men thing, because again, I know men and I know what we value.
So does it make you a slut to sleep with multiple women?
No, because here's the difference. For me to sleep with multiple women, I would have to inherently have so many different qualities that are across the board attractive to multiple women. That means in your head as a woman, if you know that this guy right here is sleeping with multiple women, you like, okay, I don't know this person, but I know he's sleeping with multiple women. That means that there's something about him that I just don't know yet that is inherently attractive to multiple women of different races, of different sizes, different etc.
So you're saying that because it's harder for men to sleep with multiple women, if they do it, then that somehow elevates them, and so that they raise themselves above slut status.
Yes, but I don't like the way you worded it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I worded it very specifically.
Exactly, I don't like the way you worded it, because you're kind of trying to point me into a corner. But I'm gonna still say yes.
That's exactly what I did.
But I'm gonna still say yes. I'm gonna still say yes, because again, name one thing that is hard to do that someone can do that you don't look at them with respect.
Wait, sorry, you're gonna have to rephrase that question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. I asked a very specific question as well.
No.
I said, name me one thing that is extremely hard to do. Of course, not like, killing people or some stupid shit like that. But name me one thing that's extremely difficult to do that a person doesn't do it and you don't respect them for doing it. For instance, being a NFL player, being a top metal athlete, being a whatever, anything that's something that's
like a high level coder or
anything that's extremely difficult, you will respect them because it's extremely difficult. Now, vice versa, if you're a woman, you can literally go down to the bar and say, hey, I want sex. And then you have a line of dudes that's waiting to have sex with you. So it's inherently easy for you to get sex. So that's why we don't appreciate it. We like, it's easy for you. What do you mean?
So you guys respect the effort that has to be put in for other men to reach that level.
Yes, as well as not effort, but more so results.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying. It's completely and utterly wrong. 100% wrong. But I mean, I understand why you feel this way. But yeah, like, let me validate your feelings while invalidating them at the same time. Yeah, like, I see why you feel that way, but that's definitely wrong.
Okay. How so? I just want to know before we wrap up the video.
No, I mean, it's just because something requires more effort to get the same results, it's sex. It's not being a high level athlete. It's not being a world famous cellist. It's
I would argue that it's harder
for men to have multiple sexual partners than be a high level athlete.
Yes. I would definitely argue that it's harder. Okay. I want to give you some statistics.
Okay.
Or after this video, but I'm gonna ask you straight up: what percentage of guys do you think is having sex on a regular basis and consistently with different women? What percentage of guys?
Well, if I poll my friends, it's a lot of them. But
damn.
But
my friends need to meet your friends.
Apparently. But I don't know. Like, if I'm gonna really highball it, like 40%.
So you think 40% of guys is out
of
here.
Of all men, yes,
Gotcha.
Are like actually be able to have sex when they want to with different sexual partners.
10 to 20.
What'd you say?
10 to 20 is fucking 70%. So 10 to 20% of guys is having sex with 70 to 90% of the females.
Okay.
So again, that means your perspective is slightly off of what it should be. It's inherently so much harder for a guy to have sex with multiple women.
We're not disagreeing with this. We're not disagreeing with like the amount of effort that it takes. I agree with you there.
Okay.
But my point is that women don't deserve the label of slut just because it's easier for us to have sex with a bunch of different men.
Okay.
If I think that's where the equity part comes in.
Okay, now got you. Now I wouldn't use the word slut. I don't even care about these words, etc. But I will use the phrase "it devalues you." Now, as a man, I know what men want, and none of my friends will agree to say that if a girl had, I don't know, I'm gonna just throw a number out there, 200 guy partners, not even 200, just 100 guy partners. They're not going to take that woman serious. They're not going to be out and about with this woman holding their hands, marriage. Oh, this is my woman right here. They're not going to take it seriously.
I would consider those very unevolved men.
I know a lot of men.
Okay, I would consider them not very evolved.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's this video been interesting as fuck. But let's actually want to end this video because I want to put I'm probably gonna make it in 2 parts. Okay. And then let's get to the live because I want to get to the live.
All right.
We here. We already here.
Yeah.
All right. So where can they find you?
Again, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at CB Social Management. Again, we have some fun, mostly business. Don't necessarily talk about all of this on there, but you'll be able to find me here with my theories.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to follow her, the link will be in the description below as well. Join the Patreon army, and I'm out. Peace.